Hi, I'm Holly Anders, integrative nutrition health coach and stress recovery coach. If you are a regular, welcome back to the channel. And if you are new, a special welcome to you. This week, it is the week in between Christmas and New Year's. And this week can often feel just kind of like la la land, right? We're in between holidays. We don't like those memes where it's like, you're in between the holidays, you're full of cheese and you have no idea what day it is. That's where we are right now when this recipe drops. So I got to thinking about what do we really want in this crazy in between holidays week. We're still wanting some comfort food, but maybe we're wanting to not have such rich, indulgent foods. So maybe something a little bit lighter, something a little bit cleaner, but still comforting, warm. And that's why I have for you my creamy chicken and veggie pasta bake this week. I don't typically do pastas, and if I do, I usually will use a zucchini noodle or something like that, but I love chickpea pasta. In particular, I get the Veggie Chickpea rotini because it is gluten-free, but it also has a lot of protein in it, and it is higher in fiber than almost any other pasta you're gonna find out there. So I thought, why not do something with that? So I came up with this creamy chicken and veggie pasta bake. So we've got rich in nutrients, chickpea pasta, high in protein. The birria has one ingredient in it, which I love, and it is just chickpeas. Nothing else. There's no gums, there's no anything, just chickpeas. So that's why I love it so much and I recommend it. So we've got that, it's got protein, it's got fiber, it's a veggie, right? Like all the goodness there. Then I've got chicken. I actually made one of my crock pot rotisserie chickens today, so I pulled the chicken off of that. I'm going to use the bones and everything left over from that to make my homemade chicken bone broth, let it sit overnight. But I pulled the chicken off that, and I did actually have a little bit of chicken left over from something else that I made earlier in the week. So all of that combined gave me my chicken for this pasta bake. So really high protein there, good sources of protein there. Now the veggies, you know, if you're kind of a normal person, you might go with broccoli. Broccoli just doesn't do well with me, so I've given you alternatives in this recipe. You could do broccoli, you could do zucchini. I'm actually using spinach. You could use kale, just something to give you something green, okay? So I chose to use spinach in this pasta bake since I can't do broccoli. It just doesn't work with my body, but broccoli would be great, zucchini would be great, like I said, spinach, kale. So we've got a green veggie, something to brighten up the dish, but then also add more fiber, more vitamins and minerals, more antioxidants. And then we have a lovely coconut milk based cream sauce that has some of that homemade chicken bone broth in it, some spices, and then I'm using arrowroot powder to act as a thickener in this one. So bringing that all together, and then I top the whole thing off with some crushed up almond flour crackers and Parmesan cheese. So let's talk about throwing this all together to give us this really comforting, warm, but really actually nutritious meal for the la la land of the week in between Christmas and New Year's. So this recipe, I will tell you right up front, it is not a one pot dish. You've actually got kind of three things all going at the same time to make this dish. The first thing that you want to do is preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Then you want to get your pasta going. Now, if you are using the Veggie Chickpea pasta, the rotini is the one that I chose, then the box recommends 8 to 10 minutes to cook. Since you're going to bake this in the oven and it's going to continue to cook, I would go with the 8 minutes, and that's what I did. So I got my pasta water going. I put some salt in that pasta water while I did other things like cut up my onion. I also got my cream sauce ready to go. So first thing I did was I made a slurry with my arrowroot powder and a little bit of the chicken bone broth. So you need a half a cup of chicken bone broth total. So I just took some of that chicken bone broth and used it to make my arrowroot powder slurry, which acts as a thickener, and it's more natural than using something like cornstarch or a different type of thickener. Also keeping it gluten-free. So I got that slurry ready, and then I added the rest of my cream sauce ingredients to my saucepan. So that was a cup of coconut milk, the rest of the chicken bone broth, the spices like thyme, half a teaspoon of thyme, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, a quarter teaspoon of salt, and then added in that arrowroot powder slurry. Got that going because you want it to heat up and thicken up while everything else is cooking. So once my pasta water was ready. I added in my pasta into the water, set my timer for 8 minutes, and got my chicken veggie mix going in my cast iron pan. So that's a couple of cloves of minced garlic and my half of an onion that I had cut up, and got that going in some oil. If you're doing the broccoli or the zucchini, this is where you would add those in and cook them for like 3 to 4 minutes until they're tender. I will say if you're doing the broccoli, you definitely want to make sure that you're using really small florets and not big, large chunks of broccoli. So cut that broccoli down into small little tiny floret pieces so that they do cook and saute quickly. If you're using something like kale or spinach, a leafy green like I did, it doesn't matter if you really cook that down. So I went ahead and I added in my chicken and my spinach at the same time. Mixed that up because the spinach was going to cook/wilt very quickly, and I didn't need to give it really that separate 3 to 4 minutes of cooking, sauteing time like you would if you were using the zucchini or the broccoli. So just keep that in mind when you're making this recipe. And you're wondering why I added in my chicken with my spinach. That's why. It just needs, the spinach, the kale will just need to wilt down, and it can definitely do that while the chicken is not cooking but warming back up, because you're already using cooked chicken here. So for the chicken, if you're not gonna, make a whole chicken like I did in the crock pot this morning, grab a rotisserie chicken from the store or grab some pre-cooked chicken breast. Make it easy on yourself this week. Don't think about it. Don't overdo it. Just grab something and make it easy. So got that chicken veggie mixture going, and then let that sit until the pasta was finished cooking. Once the pasta was done, I drained it and then added it into the chicken veggie mix, then poured my cream sauce, which had thickened really nicely, into that saute pan and got everything mixed together. I had pre-sprayed a 9x13 baking dish with some olive oil spray just so that nothing would stick. And then once that mixture, the pasta, the chicken, the veggies, the cream sauce, once that was all mixed together, I transferred it into my 9x13 baking dish. Once I had that all in there, I went ahead and I used the optional toppings. These are totally optional, but I sprinkled some crushed up gluten-free almond crackers on top as a topping, and then sprinkled some Parmesan cheese on that. Once I had all of that done, I stuck it into my oven at 375 for 20 minutes to bake. And I just pulled it out of the oven. It looks gorgeous. It smells amazing. The Parmesan cheese is golden on top, and I can't wait to show it to you. All right, so the pasta bake is done. This is our dinner tonight. So the pan is still really, really warm, but you can see here it turned out really nicely, and I am so excited to dig into this. It smells so good, and I know we're all going to love it. So thanks for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. If you like the videos, if you like what I'm giving you, just do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. That would really help me out as I'm trying to build my audience here on the channel. So I hope you've had a wonderful Christmas. I hope you have a happy New Year. And as always, if you're looking for support for cortisol, for stress, for any of that kind of thing going into the new year, be sure and check out my website for all of the things that I have to offer you, for all of the ways that we can work together going into 2026 to make 2026 the best year yet. So until next time, I'm Holly Andrews, and I believe that you can heal your stress from the inside out.